Every year, pet stores across America sell 500,000 dogs, while 5 to 7 million enter shelters and rescue organizations. People should adopt dogs from humane societies and rescues as opposed to buying from a breeder or a pet store because you save the life of a shelter dog, which helps then stop cruel mass breeding facilities. You pay less and you get a lifetime resource with shelter employees, and you get an animal that's been in great care. I have 3 dogs of my own. One was purchased from a breeder, one was purchased from a pet store, and the other was rescued from the Wisconsin Humane Society in Milwaukee. So many of us have pets that we love, no matter where they came from or when we got them. And at most point in our lives, most of us will get another pet, but where's this pet going to come from? Humane societies and rescue organizations are full of pets that are waiting for their forever homes. By adopting your next pet, you'll save money, you'll have access to resources that you otherwise wouldn't, and you'll be saving that animal's life. When you adopt from a shelter, you save the life, which also helps stop cruel mass breeding facilities. Puppy mills are commercial dog breeding facilities that focus on increasing profit with little overhead cost. The health and welfare of the dogs is not even a concern, and in most states, they're legal. Dogs are forced to spend their lives in cramped cages with multiple other dogs. Wire cages are used because they're cheap, but the wire injures the dog's paws and legs from standing and sitting on it all day. And then they don't receive proper medical care and they usually become infected. According to the ASPCA's website, illness and disease are common for dogs in puppy mills. The operators don't remove the sick dogs from the breeding pools, which not only leads to diseases and illnesses like giardia, distemper, and kennel cough, but it also can lead to serious, more chronic conditions like kidney disease, blood disorders, deafness, and even epilepsy. Also, female dogs are bred every time they're in heat, which is twice a year. They're bred over and over again until their bodies are so worn out that they can't even get pregnant again. This usually happens around 5 years old because then she'll have had 10 litters by then. And when that happens, she's either killed or she's sold to a lab to become a test animal because she's useless to the breeding pool. Next, the conditions of puppy mills are unsanitary. The dogs spend their days and nights in small kennels. They don't get let out to go to the bathroom, which results in them relieving themselves right in the kennel, which they're forced to stand in and lay on. According to the Humane Society Veterinary Medical Association, this leads to skin irritation and problems, as well as attracts flies, which can pose a serious health risk because it increases the likelihood of disease transmission from dog to dog. According to the Do Something campaign, pet stores purchase puppy mill dogs because they get them for cheap, but when they turn around and sell them, consumers and the purchasers are often given incorrect lineage about the dog's breed, breeder, and health. Conditions of puppy mills are unsanitary, and the welfare of the animals is not a concern. The dogs spend their lives in cramped cages with no room or even a chance to run or exercise. The United States Department of Agriculture administrates the Animal Welfare Act, which according to their website provides legal governance of commercial breeding facilities, but at present day, only 26 states have laws regarding commercial kennels to prevent animal abuse and cruelty. Only 26. It's important that animals get adopted out of shelters because it helps put puppy mills out of business. But also, when purchasing a pet from a breeder or a pet store, you're going to pay an elevated price. According to the ASPCA, adoption fees are much lower from shelters and rescues than the cost of buying a dog from a breeder or a pet store. A few years ago, I was uneducated about puppy mills and the horrific lives that these dogs live, and I had no idea about all the dogs that were waiting in shelters for homes. I bought my golden doodle from a breeder in Minnesota. He was $1,800, and he was sold to me as a purebred golden doodle, which actually is an oxymoron. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines purebred as bred from members of a recognized breed, strain, or kind, without admixture of other blood over many generations. A golden doodle is a mix between a golden retriever and a poodle, so technically it's not purebred. 3 years ago then, I was still uneducated and I had no idea these things were happening, and I walked into a pet store looking for toys for Murphy, my golden doodle. In the back, all alone, in a tiny glass case on the wall, just laying there, was a Labradoodle puppy. I knew I needed to get him out of there. So 2 hours and $850 later, he was mine. Call me crazy, but then last year I adopted a 6-month-old puppy from the Wisconsin Humane Society for $150. She's the only one out of my 3 that came spayed, microchipped, and was vaccinated. I also was given passes to a few puppy manners classes that I could have attended for free. Humane societies offer a huge range of classes. Breeders and pet stores don't. They don't care about you or the dog after you leave. The Wisconsin Humane Society offers a wide range of classes. They include a shy dog class, a puppy behavior class, an adult manners class, and a beyond manners class. But in addition, they also offer behavioral consultations and personalized classes for problems that aren't addressed in any of the other classes, or if you want to take the training beyond or a step further. But they also offer human-only seminars. They're free, and they focus on strengthening the bond between humans and animals through an understanding of behavior and care. Humane societies and rescue organizations are often run by volunteers. These people dedicate their lives to the protection and care of lost and unwanted animals and finding them their forever homes. How would you feel if your family just dumped you off at a shelter because they had a new baby? Unfortunately, it happens to dogs all the time. They become scared and lonely when they're in the shelter because their family just dumped them. But the volunteers there are like saints. They provide the necessary socialization, basic behavioral skills, and they give the animals the love that they need. More often than not, it's not uncommon for them to work with the dogs one-on-one and teach them basic commands like sit, stay, come, lay down. In addition to providing a safe haven for pets that are awaiting their forever homes, humane societies and shelters also produce beneficial resources to adopters. In the time spent at a shelter, an animal will be in great care. They'll be given medical attention, a safe, warm place to sleep, shelter from the outdoor elements, room to run, a chance to exercise and play, socialization with the other puppies that are there, and the love and attention that they deserve. Frankly, adopters get great animals. In the time spent at a shelter, the health and well-being of that animal is the top priority. In puppy mills, it's not even a concern. According to the Humane Society of the United States, an extensive 5-year report was done that summarized 2,479 puppy buyer complaints that had got their puppies from puppy mills. 40% of them had illnesses like parasites, parvo, skin disorders, or UTI. 34% had some sort of congenital defect. 15% of the puppies died, and 3% had temperamental issues. Dogs that come from puppy mills aren't spayed or neutered or given any vaccine before you get them. Every single dog or cat that comes into the Humane Society is spayed, neutered, and microchipped, as well as given some vaccinations before they can leave again. This helps reduce the number of unwanted pregnancies, which then reduces the number of pets that end up back in shelters. Even if you haven't adopted from shelters, most humane societies offer those services at discounted prices for people who otherwise couldn't afford them. The Wisconsin Humane Society, for example, requires proof that you're on state medical benefits, and you can get those services at a discounted rate. And as well as that, as long as you show them a college ID, you get that discount too. All the animals are also given vaccinations before they're adopted out, which this is ensuring that your new friend isn't coming home with distemper or kennel cough. By adopting, you're pledging to give an animal their forever home. Most pets in shelters have been dumped there by previous owners for reasons such as a divorce, a new baby, you're moving, or we got a new puppy. These pets don't deserve that. They deserve a family. Not only are you saving a life when you adopt from a shelter, but you're adopting a pet that has been well taken care of. The best place to find your new best friend is your local animal shelter. In conclusion, I encourage you all to adopt your next pet from a local humane society or shelter. You will be getting a healthy pet for cheaper, as well as saving its life and helping put a stop to mass breeding facilities. According to the American Humane Association, 3.7 million dogs and cats are euthanized every year at shelters because of the fact that there aren't enough willing adopters. By rescuing your next pet from a local humane society, you're making a difference in that number, but also in that pet's life. Thank you.